Hi friends, it's Deanna Willison with Our Blooming Catholic Life, and I'm coming to you today with a book unboxing, but it's a review this time. I'll do it in the normal style. I do unboxings, but you're going to get the bonus review. I've had this book for about 15 years now. I got it before we got our first rabbit. The Hubs has a policy of you have to research a pet for about a year before we seriously look into getting it. It's a good policy. Don't tell them I told you so. But so this was the book we got to kind of learn about house rabbits. The House Rabbit Society does have a web page, but it is updated so often, and it's so awesome that going to it is almost like falling down the metaphorical, the proverbial rabbit hole. You're going to get distracted, and there's so much going on that it's great to have a book. You don't have to worry if you have power or internet. You can just grab the book. There's hay all through the book because I keep it back by my rabbits for emergencies, for pet sitters. Anybody can go and grab this book and very, very quickly get some care. I wonder if I can block off this red light. There's a red light on top of my microphone telling me that it's working, but it's reflecting off the book. That's a lot better. Ingenuity here, friends. Ingenuity. Stuck some post-it notes on there. That's definitely better. So it doesn't look like we have that a laser pointer on me all the time. So, House Rabbit Handbook. How to live with an urban rabbit. By urban, I mean a rabbit in your house. You can be suburban, you can be rural, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's an inside rabbit. By saying urban, it means not a farm animal. A farm animal, we're talking about a meat rabbit. People have that. It's a thing. I'm not going to discuss that now, but this is for house rabbits. This guy's clearly in a house. And it says here, keeping rabbits I filmed this like 6 times already. Keeping rabbits healthy and happy in a human environment, and it's by Marinell Harriman. It is the 4th edition, and it's by Drollery Press. You have to love this little prima donna back here, right? We've all had those kinds of rabbits. Rabbits have all different kinds of personality, friends, just like any other pet. They have joyful moments, grumpy moments, but they all have their own individual personalities as well. Let's get in here. The opening's just pretty much the same. Rabbits do love to lay on bricks. They love to lick bricks, but they also, especially in the summer, love to go and lay on a cool brick. They just do. So if you have a fireplace in your house, imagine the little one's going to hop over there at some point. The book is dedicated to Herman and Phoebe and their successors. I'm assuming those are rabbits. Drollery Press, Alameda. Copyright was in 1985, 91, 95, 2005 was the last one I got. First edition published 1985, second edition 91. Yeah, you get the picture. Printed in the USA. Alameda. It's in California. Drollery Press is in California. Here is the table of contents. It's a little unusual, and as I get older, the print is a little bit harder to read. That's a different setup, right? So out here is your chapter number, chapter titles in bold, page number, and then these guys are the subheadings, and they're just in regular print with the number right after. So, going back and having done so many of these reviews, I know I would like those chapter titles to at least, okay, they're in capital letters and bold. I'd like that to be like one size larger font or something, so it's a little easier, quicker, especially if you're in an emergency or something, that you could just open the book, see it quickly, and go. So let's look, what are those chapter titles? Well, there is a preface. I'll tell you that. So chapter 1 is Customs and Characteristics, Preparing to Adopt. So yes, you should read the book first. Setting up space, bunny proofing your home. All this needs to be done ahead of time. Litter box training, bonding buddies, lifting and handling, feeding for longevity, conditions, diagnostics and treatment, home health routines, the art of caregiving, and then there's notes and an index. As we open the book, the page numbers are in the bottom outside corners. Ta-da! I love that. Preface, it's pretty easy to see. It's a preface. You can see there's pictures, and you can see where it starts. So it's in a double column, kind of a newspaper style. It begins with You surely know by now that rabbits are worthy creatures. They are demure enough to make us relax and powerful enough to make us rearrange our homes so that they can live there safely. The 4th edition of the House Rabbit Handbook no longer needs to introduce the concept of house rabbit to a world that is unfamiliar with that term as it was in 1985. It's still pretty uncommon. Honestly, I know a lot of people who have rabbits, house rabbits, and a lot of other people who are like, wait, what? So it's very hit or miss. Homeschoolers have rabbits a lot. It's just, they're great pets. One of the great benefits of them is they're crepuscular. So they're up at dawn and dusk. So if you have even, brick and mortar school kids, rabbits are going to be getting up, roughly the same time as your kids probably. And they're going to be most active in the morning when the kids are home and in the afternoon, evening when your kids are home. So that can make it a friendly pet. Like I have hermit crabs too, and they're up all night. Well, when I'm in bed. So house rabbits can be nice for this. And they're kind of chill during the day. That's what makes them also a great homeschool pet, because if they're loose in your house, while your kids are doing lessons, they can snuggle with the rabbit, have a rabbit on the lap. It's very calming and soothing to have a sleepy rabbit around when you're trying to do your schoolwork. I'm just saying, it's very true. So they tell you lots of things. I love that still on page 4, over the past 20 years of living with house rabbits, I've discovered a most amazing fact. You don't run out of things to learn, and that is very true. Our bunnies continue to reveal their intricate personalities and social order and teach us to be more observant, efficient humans. We humans are constantly developing new and better ways to get our work done so we can enjoy our homes with our bunnies. And to preserve the joy as long as possible, our ears are always open for a new breakthrough in veterinary medicine that might keep our bunnies alive and well for a long time. And then it's really cute, customs and characteristics. So this is how the new chapter is marked. The number 1 is on an outside corner, nice and big, and starts out with some pictures. And you can see here this bunny and these cats are in the same house. In fact, I have an Australian shepherd and I have 3 big rabbits. And he goes over to the neighbor's house where they have a rabbit, a cat, and even a coonhound. You never know. It's really the personality of the animal and the training and time that you're willing to put into it. But as a disclaimer, you have to make that choice whether you think those animals are safe together or not. But the book is going to give you a lot of things here. So subheading, the chapter header is just this big. And then we go straight into the mental makeup. So I'm curious. Interesting. This is very interesting. So at the bottom down with the page number, it tells you what the book is, right? And the edition. Up here on the top, it tells you the understanding rabbit language. Wait, understanding rabbit language. Is that the... Wait, now I'm very confused. Because over here, okay, so the subheading, the chapter title is Customs and Characteristics. And up here it has Understanding Rabbit Languages. But over here, it has the mental makeup. So this is the subheading. I'm not sure where this came from. Interesting. Maybe that's a carryover from a previous edition. We're going to have to see here. Language. Oh my goodness. The pictures are really great because they really let you know how playful or mischievous rabbits are. They're really getting a variety of behaviors in the pictures. Rabbit speak. That really is odd because that heading over here. Interesting. So it's telling you subheadings. Look, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and we have 1.6, 1.7, 1.8. Very interesting. So there's little sub numbers up here with subheadings. It still has that understanding rabbit language, which is weird. I don't know where that came from. Maybe I do think they must have changed it. So these are mainly a series of articles about different things. Very interesting. So there's an article here on rabbit speak. That is number 1.5. When we first started to rabbit school, we learned some basic vocabulary. With time, we are refining our education and even learning a little rabbit poetry along the way. Scientific observations of wild rabbits give us background data on rabbit behavior. When we live with rabbits, we watch them close up and listen to what they are saying when they speak to humans. In living with different people, rabbits develop different dialects, which are best understood by those who live with them and love them. Just as our own language, we have homonyms, the same word with different meanings, so do rabbits. The important thing to bear in mind is context. So most rabbit words are communicated by action, others are by posture, and happy postures include whole body smiles of several different kinds. So there's the peaceful stretch, the sideways flop, presentation. So the peaceful laying out. The flop is literally on their side. They look quite dead. It's quite disarming. The presentation is kind of their bowing. They look like a little pear when they do that bow. Crouching is an unrelaxed version of presenting with bulging eyes. The rabbit is not enjoying attention, but frozen with fear. So they give you the three peaceful ones, and then they're going to give you the opposites that may look like that. The shudder. Word of mouth. So then there's a bunch of nice, happy little noises you may get from your rabbit, and then, some bad ones. Some that are kind of in between that maybe they call it love and war. What is good and what is bad? It's very interesting. Then there's also these little articles. So some of these, they give you the author of a little inset article, but this one here, Herman's Place, does not have an author. So perhaps was Herman up to Herman and Phoebe. So that is one by the author. So when it's by the author, she's not giving you the name after the article title. But if it's by someone else, she's going to give that to you. Very nice. Rabbits. I'm sorry. They're just funny, right? They're just funny. Don't let your refrigerator veggie drawer open around a rabbit. So say you have an emergency, or you're going to the vet and the vet says something about the rabbit's tummy. What are we going to do? Dun, dun, dun. Don't worry. They actually have charts and graphs in here so you can understand what your veterinarian is saying. On page 62, they do have a list of plants that are poisonous to rabbits. So they do have lots of charts in here as well. Let's go back. Appropriate foods. Indigestible fiber, fresh produce, veggies, fruit, pellets. Very interesting that they go into, there's a nutritional chart. So you can look at some things. Diet for healthy rabbits, and there's charts for babies and teenagers for different ages of rabbits. Do you have special diets? Do you need to make a pellet paste? Do you need a moistened pellet for seniors or a high fluid diet? It tells you how to make them here. So when your vet's giving you some advice, you can come back to here and look it up. Interesting. Obesity in rabbits, there's some great tips in here, like photograph your bunny's profile at a slim young age and compare it over the years. So you can kind of see if your rabbit's putting on the pounds or getting skinny. Like I say, there's plants not for chewing. So you can evaluate the plants in your house, in your yard. Are they safe for your bunny? Sometimes people take their bunnies outside. This book's going to talk about it. Advantages and disadvantages. They could come up with any disease that's outside, right? And unlike your dog, they don't have all the vaccinations that they would need to fight them off. They don't take dewormers on a regular basis. So taking your rabbit outside also will expose them to overhead predators like hawks coming in, neighborhood dogs, foxes. You have to consider all those things. So some people may take their rabbit out for a little bit. I think people now, we're in the age of what's not in this book is RHDV2, because that's a fairly new virus. You can find out about it on the website. It is a rabbit epidemic. It is very lethal. It is very quick. It's bad news. And so most people, if they're going to take their rabbit outside at all, it would be like a screened in porch environment, because it's covered overhead. Most of your biting insects, worms can't get in because of the screens, and there's a floor. So that could be your best choice if you want to spend some outdoor time with your rabbit or letting them get fresh air. You could also, some people have screen doors, like a sliding door that they can have a screen door open to let their rabbit get the breeze. The danger with that is there are still some predators who can get through those screens. Raccoons are pretty notable for that. So it's better to have it where it's going to lock. Some of the sliding glass doors now lock at about a 2-inch open. So you could have the screen, have it locked at about 2-inch. Most predators, even if they get through the screen, are too big to fit through that. Not all of them. I still wouldn't leave them alone with an open window or door. Even with the screen, I wouldn't do it. But the book talks about some things like that. Sorry, I'm value adding a little bit here. Microbial infection. It gets in here. Oh, infections. Oh, right. There could be some things in the environment that gain entry through inhalation in the respiratory tract or ascendance up the urinary tract. More often, rabbits can become infected by opportunistic bacteria already residing within their GI tract or on their skin surfaces. And normally they don't present a problem until the rabbit's under some other kind of stress. Then those bacteria become active. That happens. So you got to keep an eye on your rabbit's behavior, which is why having a book like this and doing your research is handy, because you're going to know your rabbit's normal behavior, so you're going to know their abnormal behavior. It does tell you what rabbit, sorry, I can't say that word, but it's going to tell you which medicines you can use, which ones you can't use, how you would use them in a rabbit. So that's also very helpful. You can always double check it. If your vet isn't very rabbit savvy, you can double check here to just be sure and make sure that you're giving everything correctly. It talks about surgeries, what conditions might require treatment, anesthesia, what if they have diarrhea or constipation or no stools. It actually shows you charts of their heart, what a normal heart looks like, what a diseased heart looks like, power of the psyche, some home health routines, what are best. And yes, this rabbit's wearing a diaper. What's up with that? You'll have to read the book. Convalescent care, basically. Oh, we all know this one. The holding the rabbit down while force feeding or giving them medicine. Some rabbits like to take medicine and some don't. Sometimes it's good to get in a friend to help you. There's some comments about assisted living, care of the young, grooming, the ongoing tune-up. Grooming is a thing that's a pain. It's stressful. But this book does such a great thing. It even tells you about how to spot clean, how to give them a little bath if you have to, because sometimes you have to, and you want to be doing it the right way. The book is just very thorough. It tells you the correct ways for doing so many things. The notes are back here as well as an index. The index is very micro. You may need a magnifying glass. I could read this when I first got them. Oh, I can read it if I hold it fairly far away. But it is tiny. Lots of great places. I mean, it's so thorough. Ophthalmic ointment, obstructions, slicker brushes, sore hocks, infestation, inflammation, injury. These rabbits, you think they're just cute and fluffy and super easy to care, but like any animal, it's going to need care and lots of extra treatments. So the House Rabbit Handbook, it is my go-to guide and resource. Like I say, it's got hay throughout it because I keep it where I keep my rabbits. For any emergency, it's right there with them. You got to keep it out, dust it off every now and then, read it. You can see I was being drawn back in. Maybe I need a refresher on some of these topics. Come back to it again and again. The House Rabbit Handbook. It has been such a blessing in our rabbits' lives. May God bless you too, friends. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.